everybody's got talent. Some kind. Some talent manifests in bigger dollars than others, no doubt. But honestly, here's the unlock. Once you stop chasing, you know how many people are chasing cryptocurrency, cannabis, blockchain, because they think there's money there and have no idea what the fuck they're talking about? I do, because I talk to these fuckers every day. You ask them I'm a blockchain expert. You ask them one question, they're fucking lost. Yo, I'm Garyvee. I'm starting a CBD brand. I'm like, good, bro. Knock yourself out. People just talking bullshit. Bullshit. Fuck. Please take my energy here today, because it's on rare form, to get happy. Just get happy, yo. Fuck. Like, fuck. The biggest confusion in America in 2019 is that money is happiness. Biggest. And everybody, I know what's gonna happen. It's gonna post on YouTube, and I'm gonna read the comments. I'll be like, yo, easy for him to say, I'm rich, but I'll cry in my Ferrari. Until you're crying in your Ferrari. You know how many fuckers I know that cry in their Ferrari? A lot. Because I know a lot of rich people. And they're sad as fuck. And when you have money and you're sad as fuck, real bad shit happens. Because that shit goes from cognac and weed to cocaine and guns in your fucking mouth. My friends, it is time, once and for all, to fucking cut the bullshit. We need to start talking about happiness. If you're making $37K a year in this room as a teacher, but you came here to figure out what business can get you to $1 million a year, but you fucking skip home whistling out of happiness because you're impacting young people's lives, then leave this fucking conference right now, because you fucking won. You don't need anybody. I love you so much that I'm trying to figure out how to say something in some new way to get one of you, because you've heard this so goddamn much from me. We don't listen because we don't address the well. We're all making fancy sinks and wallpaper and decorating our homes, but it's our foundation. It's our foundation. It's our foundation. And that's why I come here guns a-blazing. By the way, I think I should only talk in New Jersey. Right? Fuck it. I'm not sure I want to talk anywhere else but fucking New Jersey. I fucking love you guys on some real shit. I fucking love you guys on some real shit. On some real shit. Fuck. My friends, it's so easy out here. It's so fucking easy, and nobody wants to go there because you're scared of judgment. Just listen, the amount of poison that is sitting in this room is unheard of. There's so much hurt in here, and you're scared to put it out. You wanna really get happy? Go home after this, make an Instagram video, and talk about your uncle abusing you, you stealing money one day, you selling drugs and somebody dying that you knew because of your drugs that you sold them, the fact that you stole, the fact that you did bad shit. Get the poison out of your mouth. Our poison, if you murdered somebody, don't do it, you're going to jail. But for the most part, or just finally just making a video and being like, yo, I'm scared. Vulnerability is strength. Like, you know how many people in here know they're not an entrepreneur, but it says it in their bio? You know why? Because somehow the shit that I got made fun of in the 80s and 90s in this great state became the cool thing. My friends, who's over 42 in this room? Raise your hands. Tell these youngsters how not cool entrepreneurship was. It was if you didn't get good grades and went to a great school, that was it, unless you were an athlete or something. But it was like, there was no selling stuff. But then fucking they made a movie and Justin Timberlake said, you know what's cooler than $1 million? $1 billion, and everybody went off. That's what happened. And now now the baby wants to hang out with me. You understand? This is crazy shit. This is crazy shit. The entrepreneur became the cool thing, which immediately means every 13-year-old on earth right now wants to be one. Because quickly at 13, you realize you have no flow and you don't run fast. So you can't, what's great about rap and fucking sports is it's obvious. If I was one of those and somebody's like, people roll up on me all the time, Gary, I'm an entrepreneur. I can't be like, show me. But if somebody's like, yo, Gary, I'm a rapper, I'm like, go. Yo, Gary, I'm a basketball player. I'm like, show me. The reason this entrepreneur thing is so scary is you can hide. You can hide. And what I know is that there's a lot of people in this room who are number 3s, who are number 7s, who are number 13s, and could be happy. Let me tell you about entrepreneurship. If you don't have the stomach for that shit, it will eat you up. It will eat you up. To be a great entrepreneur, you actually can't hear anything. Because the second you hear something, you won't take the risks or make the jumps or the moves to actually go. Do you know how many people are gonna go out of business in the next 2 or 3 years because they don't have the humility to show people that they're actually failing currently, so they'd rather completely go out of business on some hope shit? It's real out here. It's real out here. It's time. Listen. Every time I hit the stage, knowing it's being recorded, I'm like, is this gonna be? Listen, I've never had really, outside my first one, really, I've never really had a talk go super duper 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 viral. I've never had a talk get 100 million views. And every time I go out here, I'm like, is this gonna be the one? Yeah. And not because I give a fuck about 100 million views, fuck 100 million views. Because I want this conversation to go. As a matter of fact, if all of you promised me to take this conversation and make your own version of the conversation so that the collective gets to 100 million and I get a single view, I'm good. I'm gonna get everything by myself like I always have. Yeah, Gary. What I want is what I know is happening in this room right now, which is this is real. Yeah. This is the actual conversation. And every fucking person in here knows it. You know how much we hate being honest with ourselves? We love tricking ourselves. It feels better. It's not fun to say you suck, especially when you put something on a pedestal. We've put entrepreneurship on a pedestal, and now everybody wants to be good at it. I get it. It's just hard. Like real hard. Like really hard. Guys, let me remind you something. How many people here have a business? If you're not annihilating it right now, you suck. This is the easiest time in the history of America to be successful at business. For everybody that just raised their hand that isn't annihilating it, you suck. That's not fun for me to say. I just really want to make sure, there's a lot of youngsters in here, a lot of first timers, even if you're 50. This is the easiest. The economy's been cruising for a decade. There's so much money in the system. Of course there's things. It's easier for white males to get funding. I understand all that. I've never gotten funding. You can start from zero. Many people start from zero. If you're not, let me say this super crystal clear. If you're not crushing it right now in your business, it is highly likely that you're not good at it. You might have just started last week, so you haven't had enough time. On some real shit, because I know hands are not gonna wanna go up as much right now. How many people here have been doing their business for 3 years? Raise your hands, raise them high, own it. I'm telling you, if it's not crushing, you got a problem. And that's okay. I have friends in Silicon, in 2006 that I was this is when I was coming up and I was like, I don't think you're good. Shut down their company and became the 7th employee at Tumblr and made fucking $12 million. This is self-awareness. This is self-awareness. You have to be honest with yourself, because if you're incapable of that, you have no prayer of happiness. And being honest with yourself is hard. being your biggest critic, do you know how delusional? Do you know how hard, like, my friends, we are so good at casting judgment on everybody else. We're unstoppable at that. Keyboard warriors on Twitter, everyone. We're not doing that to ourselves. Now, do not confuse that with you're grinding and the company hasn't turned yet and now you're gonna bail too soon. Everything is about balance. Here's my bigger question. If you're in year 6 of your company after this little rant and it's not crushing, but you're happy as fuck, you won. Take a step back with me and listen to the last 13 minutes and let's talk about it one more time. I come out, we talk about the pressure on you should be succeeding because it's easy. You're not. You're 3 years in, you're not. Now you're feeling like, oh, fuck Garyvee, you know? But then the twist at the end. If you fucking love it, let's go. Let me tell you why I'm scared and what I want to push into the system right now. I believe the following. I believe that there's a lot of people here whose business is unsuccessful because they're aiming to make it a $10 million business and they don't have it in them. Had they taken a step back and instead of doing a business around real estate investing or cannabis or CBD or social or a t-shirt brand or whatever the fuck, if they took a step back and said, okay, because everybody comes in hot. Every kid that starts a t-shirt brand rolls into my office or my DM and is like, yo, I'm about to build the next Supreme. I'm like, no, you're not. Anybody who's gonna build the next Supreme doesn't tell somebody they're building the next Supreme. They tell themselves. But if you took a step back and actually said, what do I fucking like? Like, what do you like? Like, what are you about? What are your interests? What do you like? How do you take a step back and focus on what you like and then build a practical business around that? I so believe in that shit. Now, that business might be $84,000 a year. If you like Smurfs and you start a fucking Smurf podcast and sell Smurf hoodies, I do not believe that business is gonna do 8.3 million a year. My question is, which one's better? Is it better to be happy, hit on a number, and live within those means? Or is it better to listen to macro trends, shit that you don't want, chase the money, and make yourself vulnerable and unhappy? That's the debate. And by the way, there's a lot of people who have the great fortune of loving something that allows them to make dollars. There's a lot of people who just love the process of business. I'm one of them. I can love anything. Nothing, whether it's garage sale or selling services or wine. If my dad had a tire store, I would have built the biggest fucking tire store in the world. Some people just like that, and that's fine too, but honestly, this is one enormous game of self-awareness. Enormous. Around really getting into your skills. The skills can be taught. My friends, Google and YouTube will teach you everything. What do you want to know? Google and YouTube will teach it to you. Do you want the tactics? Google and YouTube will teach it to you. You want to build a website with a funnel that creates a subscription business? Free. Google YouTube. Google YouTube. This is not about Google YouTube. This is not about the tactics. This is about the structure, the strategy, the self-awareness, the mindset, and really taking this conversation deeper to really know what you're about and how you got here. To change up your shit, you have to do new shit. There's so many people here on year 20 of trying to figure it out to get there, but they've been doing the same thing in different ways. Just listening to a different voice, a different ebook, a different seminar, but doing the same hustle with a different disguise. You want new shit, you gotta do new shit.